That's right, and we have those photos here. The family retained a spokesperson, and she gave them to us. Now, Chief Jeff King says the angles of the photos show only black targets here, but in reality, he says there were 11 other targets hanging up here on the side. Those were all ranging in gender and race, and he says he knows that it looks bad here, but he thinks that a review of the training will reveal that they did nothing wrong here. Just bad optics is what Farmington Hills Police Chief Jeff King is saying about these photos. They were taken just hours after an exercise in the shooting range.
At the completion of the training event, portions were taken down. This first entire row was taken down and placed and hung over off to the side. And there were 5 targets remaining, 4 African American, 1 Caucasian.
The photos show young Boy Scouts on a tour staring at 4 targets, 2 of which were riddled with bullet holes. In a letter from the American Civil Liberties Union, staff attorney Mark Fancher said it was alarming that no one possessed sufficient knowledge to recognize the problem.
No targets of black people should be used given the historical backdrop and the current circumstances as it relates to the relationship between law enforcement and the black community.
King says they use pictures of actual people to make training as realistic as possible. They have both threat and non-threat targets. You see this person here is holding a cell phone, but this person is holding a gun. In this range, they don't just train to shoot, but more importantly, they train when not to shoot.
That threat to the officer and the public can come in any form, and it's the threat, it's the behavior, and the things that we teach them to try to counter that behavior that is important.
Tim Burgoyce is the executive director of the Michigan Commission of Law Enforcement Standards. The targets used here are certified by MCOLS.
We strongly encourage that there is a diversity in those targets.
After the story hit the airwaves, all targets were removed pending a legal review and a third-party investigation.
And we are moving as quickly as possible to get both of those done prior to any additional training.
The training they were doing that day is called situational awareness. King says it helps officers work through implicit bias. According to Fancher, that training clearly doesn't go far enough.
We don't want this to manifest in a different way in the future where somebody actually is the target, a real life target of police violence when it was unwarranted and unnecessary.
The chief says in the last 28 years there have only been 2 shootings involving officers. He said he's gotten calls from people all over the country and he's called them all back, hoping to provide context in this particular situation. He says the review is expected to be done before fall, and he apologizes for the pain that these pictures have caused. Reporting live in Farmington Hills, I'm Alex Bozargian for 7 Action News.